Basically, I first got into photography 6 years ago, got my first SLR camera. It wasn't until like a good few years after that I got my first iPhone. Like everybody else, I just took loads of pictures on my iPhone, just like posting them on Facebook, all my social networking sites. And then it wasn't until they started bringing out like really good editing apps that I started getting more into, I suppose, the art side of it. When Instagram came out, I started posting pictures on that and realising the pictures that were coming out with it were actually pretty good, and people were telling me they were good, and I was like, this actually could be another form of my photography, I guess.
My photography started at about 97 or 98, I can't remember exactly when, but I had a compact 35mm camera, an old Ricoh camera, which I would just bring everywhere. It was just constantly in my pocket or constantly in my school bag. I guess I carried on for quite some time. I ended up doing a degree, or 4 months of degree in computer science before I walked out of that. And then I kind of, for a year and a half, I guess then I moved into the music industry full time for about a year and a half. But small time music industry, just like helping out at gigs and doing the door and doing merch for people and stuff like that. But again, the camera was always with me. And I guess over time, photography became a bigger interest for me. I guess my name started to get out there a bit more over time. I started documenting a lot of live gigs, a lot of bands in the studio, promo shots, and then things never, like it was never a massive name photographer, but things took off where I was making a comfortable living, and I was starting to work for a lot of the bigger magazines.
When I'm out and about, I don't always have my SLR camera on me, so if something crops up, something that I really want to take a picture of, then I'll take it with my iPhone. A lot of sunsets, candid moments of friends, family, my dog. Yes, it's easy to do, but it's taking it seriously as a photographer as well. It's just another form of getting my photography out there.
I started, well, I took photographs with the iPhone for about a year and a half, 2 years before I took it seriously. I think everybody did. Everybody had a camera phone where you just kind of snapped pictures of your mate passed out on the sofa, or, you know, your girlfriend, or a band where you didn't have your proper camera. I never took it seriously until, again, I sat down one day, looked at all the photographs. I was doing an exhibition at the time, and I was looking at all the proper camera photographs. And there was a folder of iPhone photographs, kind of like a subfolder inside that folder, and I decided to have a look at it, and it just hit me then that this is a better, not necessarily a better camera, because it's not a better camera technically, but it's a valid camera, and that's when, yeah, I guess then I took it seriously.
I use Instagram as my platform, but editing wise I use Camera Plus and Snapseed and Afterglow. If I take a picture of a sunset, Afterglow is really nice. You can put some nice light flare. On Camera Plus you can control how much of the effect you want to use, which is great, because on apps like Instagram you literally, once you put an effect on it, then you can't change how much of the effect that you want. I do use the effects on Instagram as well, but I found that editing with other apps is definitely a lot better for what I want anyway.
My post-processing is usually a little bit of curves and a little bit of maybe colour correction in a program called Filterstorm, or Camera Plus, or Hipstamatic, or I don't really have like I guess after being so regimented as a professional photographer all those years, I don't want to have one particular app, one particular process. I just can't be bothered anymore. I'm being too old and too lazy now, but I just take the photograph, mess around for 25 seconds. If it's good, I keep it. If it's not, I delete it and move on.
Instagram, it's a great platform for photographers, for just everyday use really, for anyone. It's great if you don't want to be on Facebook and constantly trolling through all like your news feed. This is a photo sharing platform. It's just photos and you can comment on them. It's great. And then there's the option then to share it on your Facebook, Twitter, your blog, your website. So that's what I do. It's great, and it just gets my photos out to more people, gets them shared more, and get them retweeted, reposted, shared on Facebook. It's perfect for what I need it for.
There's a guy called Grant Britton. Grant's an incredibly famous photographer. Grant started up Thrasher magazine, a skate magazine. And he was one of the first proper professional skate photographers. I don't skateboard, I've never skated in my life, but I've always been interested in skaters and documenting skaters, and all my friends are skaters, so I've always been around it. But Grant, who's like, must be in his late 50s now, was one of the first guys to really go that I knew of to really take the iPhone seriously. And for someone of that age who's went through the old film cameras to the compact film cameras to the digital cameras to go to the iPhone, I just think it's awesome that he can still move with the times. And I guess he would be my biggest influence for iPhone photographs, but mainly just flicking through Instagram and Twitter, and you always find something. I think that's the greatest thing about iPhone photography is most people have their iPhone with them at all times. That's the whole point of it. It's always there. You don't decide, I'm going to take my camera out today or not. You always take your phone everywhere you go. I don't go to the toilet if I take my phone with me, so you can take a photograph at any time. So I guess then it's just don't think about it. Snap a photograph and don't think, will my friends like this, will Instagram like this? If it's something you want to document, do it. Try different apps, try different settings, don't stick to one thing, and just actually enjoy it.
As long as people keep taking photos, keep sharing them, and I think that iPhonography has a really good future.